Hello everybody, my name is Zul, and welcome to Modding Dragon Age Origins. In today's video, we are going to be looking at a mod that adds a fully functional, fully interactive, fully voiced companion into the game. This is probably one of the most amazing mods for Dragon Age that I have ever seen, so let's take a look at the Sir Gilmore mod. This mod is absolutely packed with features. It is probably one of the most ambitious mods I have ever seen for Dragon Age Origins. It is amazing, and I can't believe I never heard of it before this. It features almost 2,000 lines of unique dialogue. It has 3 pathways where you can become his friend, have a romantic relationship, or have an open romantic relationship, so you can pursue some of the default relationships in the game. There's a lot of stories, gift-giving, telling of history from him. He has his own little backstory. The voice acting is really good. It also adds some cutscenes and some animations, and I don't want to actually spoil anything, so I'm not going to be telling you exactly what that is or showing it in the video. I'll just show the very beginning when you meet him so you can experience it all for yourself for the first time. This character actually has the ability to banter with other party members. I'll show you some of that. It's pretty cool. Some of them are a little awkward because of the way the clipping works together, but it's still great. There's also a special backstory for human nobles because you obviously knew him back then, so you can actually set if you were friends, if you were already romantically involved in the past. And there's also a mod that allows you to have some sort of continuity into Awakening and continue your story with him there, so you can do that as well. Overall, I think this is probably one of the most fantastic mods I've ever seen, so let's check out some footage of it in-game. You will find Sir Gilmore after escaping his treachery that occurred to him at Cousland Castle outside the Chantry in Lothering. He came here looking for the Grey Wardens, but he was not able to find them. Once you speak with him, you will be able to get him to join your party. Overall, you get him really early on in the game, and it fits in quite well with the story and the atmosphere. For those of you who do not remember who Sir Gilmore is, he is a Knight of High Ever who was in the service of the Cousland family at Cousland Castle. He was a temporary companion in the Human Noble Origin, and he was originally slated to join the Grey Wardens. However, due to the events of the Human Noble Origin, he was unable to do so, actually, and was left behind. Here he escapes the treachery of the traitorous Arl, and meets your character in Lothering, where you can continue your story with him. If you're a Human Noble, you'll actually be able to talk to him and discuss your past, which I think is a pretty cool addition. So let's take a look at his dialogue and voice acting. Gilmore's voice acting is very well done, actually. It's integrated into the game very well. It uses a different voice than in the vanilla game for obvious reasons, but it's still recorded very well. Some of the clips have a tiny amount of grain in the background, but you do not notice it if you immerse yourself into the game. He really feels like he's part of the world. I'm going to let you take a little sample of his voice acting here, just in the initial recruitment stage. Again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers on his storyline for those of you who would like to enjoy the mod in its pure form. I do recommend that you download it and try it for yourself, see if you like it. He's a very simple party member, warrior, that kind of thing, but he's very well done. So let's take a listen to his voice acting now.
See you have returned. What can I do for you? Certainly. I thought you would never ask. By the way, please call me Roland if you will.
So that was just the first small taste of Sir Roland's voice acting. As we can see, he's fully functional in the party. Let's take a quick look at his skills and class. He is a sword and shield champion. So if you want a different tank other than Alistair, or if you want to use a respec mod like the Raven one that I covered earlier, it should work on him perfectly fine, or on Alistair. Change the party up a little bit. So there is also banter available in this mod between the party members, and I am going to be using a script to activate some of the banter now, so you can take a quick listen. It'll also show off some of his voice acting and some of the clips clipped together. Some of it sounds really good, in particular when he speaks with Alistair, it works very well. Some of them don't work as well, but still kind of fit into the game. Morgan would be my example for that one.
I am truly amazed. A Mabari, and a good one. I haven't seen many like you. Okay. I will keep my distance, don't worry. You may not want to admit it, but I know you are also glad to see me again.
You have something to say, do you?
Oh, I was only observing you. I didn't want to bother you.
Do not be alarmed. It is only I, Morrigan.
Well, I'm not alarmed so far. I've just never been so close to somebody like you.
How sweet.
What I mean is you're a mage, an apostate. But I don't mean to offend you. You're not. I mean, you are also a beautiful woman.
How direct. Let us hope your other efforts are more drawn out.
Oh! Oh, no. Please excuse me. I didn't mean... Oh, Maker.
One of the keys to actively using this mod properly is to speak with Mr. Roland as much as you can, actually. Either gender, doesn't matter, you can do all of his storylines as far as I'm aware, but you need to make sure that you talk to him a lot, or else you won't be able to progress his story long enough. If you're a human noble, like I've said before, you're actually going to have special dialogue lines with him, and there are going to be epilogues and other things like that for him, but I don't want to spoil the mod. Normally I would go into a lot more depth with something like this, but when it adds something to the story, such as this, the same thing as I do with a quest mod, I'd leave it to you to figure out for yourself. I've shown you the biggest, the greatest features of this modification, and I hope you enjoy and take a look at it. The Gilmore mod is awesome, so take a look at that. If you have any suggestions for other mods for me to cover, let me know. There's also, just to point this out, a compatibility patch you can download on the mods page, which features a Awakening extension to this mod. So if you have Awakening and you'd like to take Roland along with you there, you can also do that, and I believe it preserves some of the choices and stuff with you. It also allows you to bring your dog with you, which I think is pretty cool as well, but I am not going to be covering that because that's gonna just be the same thing, and I've not really done much into Awakening. So there you go. Let's navigate along now to the installation. It's a very simple DA modder thing. So yeah, let's see how this mod's installed and take a look at compatibility. Installing the Sir Gilmore modification is actually very easy, but you do have to be careful of compatibility issues with other mods, especially companion-related mods, so let's be careful of that. There is actually a list of compatible mods over on the BioWare social forum. There's a link in the mod page itself, so be aware of that. On the file section, just download the main file manually. There's 3 optional files: a alternate party picker, which changes where they stand on the stage. It does make Sir Gilmore look a little bit more impressive, but it is incompatible with pretty much anything that adds other NPCs. The banter accelerator patch is the script that I used in order to trigger the banters manually. This isn't really needed for gameplay, and there's a patch which have override compatibility. And that's basically if you're having compatibility issues, you can use this to overwrite any other different mods so that this one takes precedence. So download the main file manually, that's all you need to do. I've done so already and it's on my desktop. If you extract and open it up, you'll have this. There's a README. You can check it out. It has a link to the BioWare social forum as well for the compatibility. But it also has 2 DA zips, which means we need to open up our favorite tool, DA Modder. According to the literature by the mod author, CC Core is not required, but there's also a mention of needing to install it first, so I'm not actually quite sure what to do. My personal way of installing this was just to drag both of these files here, and I personally didn't have any problems, but if you are having issues, it may be related to the CC Core, in which case you're going to need to perhaps fix the installation, but on my system it works perfectly well like this. As always, once it's done, double check to make sure that the plugins have installed correctly both here and in-game, because as we know, there has been some problems in the past with mods not activating properly, like the companion compatibility core I can't find, so I'm going to drag and drop that there, and it's going to install it. And now I have both mods installed, and this is actually the exact setup that I was using to show the footage earlier, so it should work. That's all for now. If you'd like to install, of course, the Origin or Awakening compatibility stuff, you'll have to take a look at those files as well. We'll take a quick look at those on the Nexus. Alright, the file you need is Sir Gilmore and Dog Companions in Awakening. This will continue the storyline of Sir Gilmore. It's also compatible if you start a new character here, and he does bring your loyal dog companion along for the journey, so that is also something to keep in mind. You need to have the original Sir Gilmore mod installed. Download this file, manually of course. You're going to extract it. There'll be a DA zip, which you must add with DA Modder, and you have to add the other contents into your override file. I'm not going to cover that here because I think that's a little bit redundant, but if you've watched this far into the video, basically, Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, whatever. Consider subscribing to my channel, and please check out some of my other videos. I have an extensive modding series for Fallout, Dragon Age, and Knights of the Old Republic, both 1 and 2. Very in-depth, similar to this, a lot of installation tutorial and mod coverage, so I hope you enjoy. I have been Zol. Have an excellent day. I'll see you next time.